Hello and welcome to Monday Mindfulness. It's a beautiful rainy morning here in Melbourne, and it's an honor to be able to share with you today. And today I'm feeling guided to get straight into it, and I want to share a fair bit of content today focused on the habit and the skill of staying. Staying is huge in meditation and just in everyday life as well. It's amazing how just having that ability to find peace in the moment and to be able to just stay with it, even if it's a few more seconds, is invaluable in a lot of different practices, a lot of different just general engagements in moment to moment life. A lot of the practical mindfulness tools that I'll share with you that we take out into our day, being able to stay really gives us a strong ability to be able to hold that for long periods of time. So this is something that we can practice in a seated practice and very simple practices that are like being in the gym and being able to focus that stayability in one situation and then being able to take it out and use it in other ways. It's a very, very powerful tool, especially if you've got a mind that is in the habit of being very slippery. So if you find it difficult to keep focus on something or explore the details of something, because often the mind has this defense mechanism where, minds have this defense mechanism where they have a tendency to try to distract us when we're looking at something really important. So it's great to be able to acknowledge that and feel it, and also be able to stay on point. And it's really, really common, especially in the West, in the Western culture, to be really racy with the mind. And especially if we're looking at something like a really deeply held belief system or an intense emotion, the mind can want to get in there and distract us and divert our attention before we can really get to the core of what we're experiencing. So staying is a very, very powerful tool. And it's amazing what happens when you're able to stay just a few seconds longer and a few seconds longer. And it's not just for challenging emotions. I know for myself, when I had these meditative experiences and I was feeling this ecstasy and this joy, it felt unbearable. And I felt like I needed to distract myself and get diversionary tactics happening with my mess to pull me out of that. And it was amazing what happened when I was able to just stay a few more seconds and stay a few more seconds and feel that urge to distract and deflect and wriggle out of the situation, and then just stay and stay. And the excitement and the intensity of the feeling grew and grew and grew, and then there was something altogether different on the other edge of it, which I never really got to experience because I was pulling myself out of these intense emotional experiences early. So your experience with staying will be what it is. It's a super important tool for energy conservation as well. The ability for a free diver to stay and just tell his mind, or her mind, stay, I'm going to do my free dive, and then come back up. And the actual process of being able to silence the mind through that dive actually reduces their oxygen consumption by a dramatic margin. So they're not actually able to do the big long dives if they're thinking about things because they're using energy. So to genuinely rest, if I'm going to just lie down and my body's feeling drained and I'm just going to have a bit of chill time, if I'm running laps in my mind, I'm actually using a fair bit of energy. Even though I'm not sweating, I'm actually using a fair bit of energy, and to be able to get my mind to just stay and rest is also another aspect of this staying practice. And it takes practice generally. So what we're going to do is we're going to go through some techniques that you can use to help build that skill and build that habit of being able to just stay in something, or just stay in silence, or just stay engaged with the practice for extended periods. And distractions will generally come. And if they come, just being able to feel them come through, acknowledge them, and just stay with the practice as they kind of pass almost in the background without needing to be engaged with, or just having all of our attention focused now on the new thing. And there is practices that we can use where we actually do dynamic practices, and as things come up, they become the focus. But what we're practicing right now is just staying with a particular thing. So there's different tools for different processes and different skills. And in this case, we're working with staying, but I love a balance. So there are other ways of meditating and other practices that don't so much involve staying, but this one does. So we're going to build that skill so that we can have a real balanced ability to function and to be able to go about our lives most effectively. And wherever you are right now is perfect. So yeah, you've been as mentally sharp or focused or staying or loose as you needed to be, and now we're just here sitting working on some staying practices. As simple as that. So I wasn't actually going to bring out the singing bowl. It's one of my favorite staying practices, but there was rain earlier, so I thought, okay, I had this mental story doing laps. Okay, I'm letting go of the singing bowl. But the rain stopped, so I am going to share some singing bowl. So this is a fantastic tool for learning to stay for just a few seconds. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to play the singing bowl, and we're going to tune into our hearing. And we're just going to follow that sound. All the way to silence. And we're just going to stay in that acute focus and awareness of the sound all the way to silence. And then I'll play it again and again and again. Okay, so I'll just play it a few times. I'm just going to give you a sample of a few different techniques that you can use in your own time and play with and see how your mind likes to stay. So the first one we'll do is the singing bowl. So just stay with the sound all the way to silence. Stay with it. So slowly coming back to the room. I find when I'm building that habit of focusing on the sound of the bowl, that my mind becomes really comfortable with staying in complete silence afterwards as well. I really love that extended silence after the singing bowl staying practice. And if you want to practice more of this particular technique, go to 13weekstoawakening.com and you'll find in the free stuff section at the top in Presence Week, there's actually an 11-minute example of this technique. So you can just play it and use that to tune into the sound of the bowl. Same bowl as well. So another technique that we can use to practice staying is using the breath. So we're going to stay with the breath, and we're going to use a bit of an interesting, eventful breath so that it can keep us occupied and keep us present with the experience. So in this case, what we're going to do is we're going to use a staggered breath. So we're going to just breathe in spurts, like, and then just totally relax the exhale. So really stay with each jerk of the breath. So really sharp, really focused, and keep your presence on that jerk of the breath, and then just release in your own time, in your own way. Just allow the exhale to do itself, and then come back to that sharp focus on the breaths on the inhale. So just close your eyes so you can focus more deeply on your breath. Breathe all the way out and start the breath. In your own time, at your own pace. If you get distracted, just come back to the sharpness of the jerky breath. Stay with it. Just be the breath. Stay with it. Breathe with everything you have. Stay with the breath just a little longer. Just a few more breaths. Stay with this breath. Right here. And now just let go of the breath. Completely relax. Open your eyes and quickly pick something to focus on with your eyes. And just drink in the whole visual experience with your eyes. Allowing the light to be observed. Allowing the picture to be seen in this moment as it is. And just allow the colors, the light, the experience to be what it is. If your focus gets distracted with any other sense, with any thought, emotion, or other experience, just come back to what you're observing with your eyes. Stay with that. Not the last moment's image, not a future image, this moment's image. Constantly moving, constantly being now, being seen. Stay with all of what you see in this moment. Stay with it. If you notice any urges or temptations to value add onto what you're seeing, just stay with what you see. Relax and let anything else pass. Stay with it. And just gently, softly closing your eyes down. Noticing what you see with your eyes closed now. Allowing that experience to be what it is. Being passively observed. Staying with it. And now bringing your awareness to your contact with your seat. Staying in that awareness. Staying with the seat, staying with that feeling in the body. There might be a heaviness there, a sense of contact, maybe some tingling or numbness. Just feeling the experience. If you feel yourself getting pulled away from that contact with the seat, just gently come back. Just holding the touch of gentle awareness on that contact between your body and the seat. Stay with it. Now we're gently going to open up our awareness to our emotions. Notice if there's any overarching emotions this morning, anything that stands out. Just notice where it is in the body, how it feels, and stay with it, giving it space to move and be what it is. Allowing it to be felt completely and staying with it. just a loose awareness of the place that the emotion occupies, the feeling of it, and just allowing it to shift, move, change, be what it is from moment to moment. Just stay in awareness. And now just gently opening up your awareness to all the senses, all the body, just allowing it all to be experienced all at once, allowing it all to wash through, and just staying in that awareness, that openness. Just allowing anything that feels like a contraction to pass, and just staying open to all the senses, all the feelings. You can open your eyes up as well. Allowing the richness of this moment to be fully experienced. Now I invite you to keep that awareness, that sensitivity and ability to stay in it for the rest of your day, taking it into everything you do, and really allowing everything to be fully felt and experienced in the moment, and just notice the way things change. I'd love to hear about it in the comments if you want to share any of that, any insights. Other techniques that you can use, especially for particularly busy minds, because it can actually be addictive, this distraction process, and also the process of protecting normals or protecting belief systems or patterns that the mind doesn't want to have looked at. So we can often get addicted to this racy mind or this distracting mind, and that keeps us from living in the moment. So other great tools for getting us into this state and to be able to practice more staying are mantra. So while you're singing a particular song like Om Mani Padme Om, very, very powerful mantras. And they also help the mind to just be able to turn off and just stay with the mantra. So you repeat it again and again and again, and it just helps us to be able to stay. And it's more of a physical, tangible staying rather than some of the more simple focus-based staying that we did in this session. There's also other more complicated variations on that, where you can really tie up the mind with the body and the mantra, and also a focus. So you can just start to practice staying on multiple levels and just blow the mind's ability to be able to distract us, because there's so much going on for it that it just needs to learn to stay. And it can be a great way to start building that habit to make the other exercises easier. And one of them is Kirtan Kriya, which any good Kundalini yoga teacher or any Kundalini yoga teacher would be able to teach you. And it involves focusing on the third eye. So you have your eyes closed and focused up at the third eye. You sing the mantra Sa Ta Na Ma, Sa Ta Na Ma, and you synchronize that with your fingers. So you go Sa Ta Na Ma, Sa Ta Na Ma, Sa Ta Na Ma. And practicing that for extended periods gives you a experience of being able to stay in a particular environment, and that ability to stay crosses over into other aspects of your life. So that's a very powerful tool. And another tool, if you like getting into your body, is something like Qigong. So you've got these movements and this practice that you can do with the whole body and really feeling, really being mindful. And that gives you the same aspect of being able to stay, but you're just focusing using a more dynamic, different kind of practice that also crosses over into the other types of staying. So staying is super, super important. With all of my mindfulness classes that I share, the 3 most commonly used words through the whole thing is stay with it. So just staying with it, staying in the moment, staying with the practice for a few seconds longer is just, that's what a lot of this involves, just being able to stay a few seconds longer and then a few seconds more and a few seconds more. And yeah, wherever you're at through it is perfect. And these are great tools to help you just build a stronger foundation of awareness and being able to stay, and also being able to drive the mind-body experience as a really fluid, really effective, passionate, powerful mechanism. And this ability to stay is very good at keeping the mind in check, rather than having the mind rule and trying to rule the rest of the body and the experience. It's a very humbling experience for the mind to learn to stay. And I've found it distressing for the mind at first, because it was such a big shift, such a let go of needing to constantly control and constantly be the driver and the conductor of things, but also extremely refreshing afterwards, because the mind could actually get some rest and some peace, and just learn that, okay, I don't need to be on point all the time. I can actually just turn off the mind, and life can be really, really enjoyable in a present moment experience. So I encourage you to use these techniques in your own time. You can pick particular ones that resonate with you through what we've done, and just spend extra time on that. And also apply some of this staying to your general life, like, staying with present walking. So just continuing to come back to the feet or to the breath as you walk, and staying in a conversation. That's super powerful. I feel like that one of the biggest gifts I can give to my friends and family is to just be 100% as possible present with them as I can, because their moments are priceless. And it's been a beautiful gift to me to learn to be able to stay in engagements and in conversations, and just give humble presence and honoring of that interaction. And it's amazing how much more vibrant and just powerful conversations can be when you're really present with them. So enjoy your week. Have a fantastic time, and it's been an honor to share with you today on Monday Mindfulness. Aho.